Everybody, it's that time again, all right? It is time for the One Piece poll results, all right? This happens every 5 years, all right? And one of the first videos that I ever made on this channel was talking about the One Piece World Poll midterm results. And, I got an interesting comment by some people saying, hey, you'd be surprised at how popular Kid is in Japan. When I found out Kid was in the top 30, I just didn't see the appeal there, but he has a large fan base. And then also brought up that, hey, Uta is very popular. Like, I underestimate just how popular she really is. Obviously, One Piece Film Red is probably the highest grossing One Piece movie of all time. Obviously, the Japanese pop star Ado, I hope I'm saying that right, it was huge in terms of, her singing the pop songs in the movie. But here we are again, another One Piece World Poll results, all right, and we're going to break down everything that I think that needs to be talked about, because there are some things in the fandom that I completely understand, and some stuff I'm just sitting back to myself like, really? That's okay, that's who we love? Okay, all right, because this One Piece poll is A, worldwide, and B, it's also broken down in regions. And so we'll be reacting to the biggest things I've seen in the worldwide poll, and things I've seen just by geographic regions that I can kind of give my 2 cents on, and try to figure out what's going on with the One Piece fandom in those areas, all right? And also keep in mind, there were a lot of bots involved in these. You can vote multiple times, so people would just basically pump out bots to basically vote like a million times. Agenda, listen, Agenda Beast is real. It's here to stay, fans. It's here to stay. Fans will have their agenda, and they will push that. We all have agendas. We all are guilty of it. All right, I have an agenda. We all have agendas. All right, but this one, you can figure out, okay, where the agenda is and who is an agenda, all right? Because there's a lot of things going on here, all right? But before I begin, as always, I'd really appreciate it if you'd smash that like, comment, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. It lets you notified about new videos. And if you're on the video, please like and comment down below. Let me know what you think is the biggest surprise of the poll. Let me know what you think. Who's your favorite character and how they did. All right. But let's get into it. All right, the One Piece World Poll results. I'm looking at my screen right here to get a sense for it. So the first 3, easy, worldwide. Luffy at 2,378,519 votes. He's the MC. He's the Straw Hat Man. Everything about him is just completely clean. We don't even need to talk about this. This makes complete sense. And now here's the thing that I do want to bring up right away that might be some contentions, all right? Zoro fans. Zoro fans, Zoro fans, Zoro fans. Roronoa Zoro. I have to say this just once, just so I can get this out there. You guys really need to just chill out. Just you're already winning in a lot of areas. Just chill out, because you like this poll right here. Like, to put it in perspective, Zoro has almost as many votes as Nami and Sanji combined. He's at 2.1. He's at 2,148,793. Sanji is at 1,399,204. All right, to put that in perspective, that's almost as many points as Law, who's number 5. That's 732,301. That is a huge gap. That is not a small number. That's massive. Now, Zoro fans, they're everywhere. They love him because he's a badass. Toei Animation has just decided to make him their golden boy, and when it comes to his fight scenes in the anime, we know what they do. They gas the shit out of him. They always go crazy for him. They see Zoro and they say, whatever the budget is, throw it away. He's our guy. We're riding with him for the future. Obviously, okay, and now so then we keep rounding this out. We have Nami at 1,007,905. 7,000, Nami, that fits there. Law, I mentioned him at 732,000. Rounding out the top 10, we have Robin at 332,000, Ace at 301,000, Shanks at 204,000, Mihawk at 202,000, and Crocodile at 201,000. Okay, so first thing, let's just bring this out of the way, okay? I am so happy Law is in the top 5. Why? Because Law is my favorite non-Straw Hat character. He just is. Just objectively, he's my guy. I love him. All right. And there's another people love him so much, they put somebody else in his story up in the top 15, because when we find out, well, I'll tell the results of this person is, I was stunned. They were popular in the midterm results and still now. But no, we have Law at 732,000. All right. Nami, Gooners. Also, to be fair, Nami has a lot going for her outside of the whole Goonie aspect. It's just the fact that there are a lot of Gooners out there in the community. We're cool with that. We got Nico Robin. Obviously, she's the best female character in the show, bar none. Ace, it's funny. Ace has been dead longer than he's been in the story. Spoilers, by the way, for One Piece, if you're not caught up, by the way. I should put that at the beginning of the video, okay? Ace has been dead. Put into perspective, he died, in Marineford back in, 2010, 2011 in the manga and anime? That was 15, 16 years ago. One Piece came out in 1997. And he didn't appear until what? I'm trying to think, early Alabasta, so that's 2000? Like 2000, 2001, it has to be. So Ace has been dead longer in this story than he's been alive, and he's still in the top 10. Like, he's just routinely in the top 10. He's just always going to be there. And in fairness to him, his death is like the nexus point for pre and post time skip, literally. So it makes sense that he would always be in the top 10. That's just, it is what it is, okay? Now that I've just said that element, let me talk about something controversial. The Mihawk Agenda fanboys. I mentioned Agenda Piece. You know they pump this shit out. Listen, Mihawk has a cool design. I'll give him that, but I just don't see the freaking agenda community. Listen, Mihawk's agenda is hilarious. If you didn't know, basically Mihawk is the strongest swordsman. Anytime a swordsman does anything, he is just automatically upscale. You see Rocks destroy an island, Mihawk upscale. You see Shanks destroy a kid, Mihawk upscale, okay? You see Vista clash with Mihawk upscale. Like, the agenda community is pumping this shit out for Mihawk, and you know what? They're getting away with it. We have to still deal with it. All right, it's not as funny as the Dragon Slander. Dragon Slander is just hilarious, okay? The triple dots, sweating, looking east, okay? Just looking east the entire time. But that's what Dragon just is. That's what Mihawk basically is now. He's become the agenda pieces, like prop up boy. Like, anytime a swordsman does anything relevant in this story, he is their guy. He is the guy they're pushing forward. So I don't see the appeal there. If you're a Mihawk fan, let me know what you think about him in the comment section below, okay? Because me personally, I don't really see much. I mean, he's got the cool black blade, but he's like, I'm still like, also, I just can't mess with a guy who's got a bunch of monkeys farming for him. I'm sorry, but if you don't know the context for monkeys, I mean, do you really know what we're talking about with monkeys? If somebody has monkeys farming for you, I think you do, and I just can't get on board with that. Fittingly, Shanks is above him. Of course, me and a lot of One Piece fans would have Shanks above Mihawk, and I'm like, the math max. You know what? This poll confirms that even with bots, even with people pushing out agenda, the cream still rises to the top in a lot of cases, okay? Because we know Shanks over Mihawk. At least I do, anyway. If you think Mihawk is better than that, it's your opinion. But for me, Shanks over Mihawk, easy. All right? And I am surprised Crocodile got this far, though. Like, I guess him and Mihawk are a package deal now because of the whole cross guild and the promotion of, trying to create utopia or whatever the hell that is. Still trying to figure that out. But yeah, if you want me to talk about Crocodile, all right, let me know in the comment section below. I can talk about Crocodile, all right? He's oh so suave. He's James Bond. And he may or may not be Luffy's mother, depending on how the theory works out. I say no, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was really a woman who got hit with Eva's hormone fruits. And that's why you never see... hold on a second, I got an idea. Crocodile never uses haki, because if he did, that would undo Eva's hormone fruit powers, and Crocodile would revert back to his original biological gender as a woman. Okay, if that's true, if that's true, you heard it here first, okay? I said it first, don't get mad. All right, now we're going towards the top 30, and I should have mentioned this, in the top 30, each character is going to get a special, shout out by Oda. So there we go. They're going to be, no, not shout out by Oda. They're going to be put in a color spread, so there you go. All right, so let's just adjust the thing that shocked me most in the top 30, top 15. Don Quixote Rocinante. Okay, listen, I love Dressrosa. Hot take. Hot One Piece take. But I like Dressrosa better than Wano. If you are mad at that, if you are mad that I like Dressrosa better than Wano, then okay, sorry, let me know what you think. But yeah, I love Corazon. I do. He was just that his history with Law is by far, it's up there my favorite post-time skip moments. It's definitely up there. Like, there are a lot of post-time skip moments that I love, but the whole scene with him, taking Law to the hospital when Law had been infected with Amber Lead syndrome, and because of world government bullcrap, everybody thought it was contagious, and Corazon, bless his heart, crashes out and burns down those hospitals. He just says, wait, hold on. You're a doctor and you don't want to risk your life to help a child? No. Fuck this. You don't get to have your license anymore. And he burns down the hospitals repeatedly, okay? And I just love the scene when he was just drunk. Clearly, he's drunk off his ass. Law's asleep. And he's like mumbling to himself. He's like, why am I doing it? Is it for the D? With a D? No, that's not it. I'm doing it because of this kid. I want to help him. And Corazon's just, he's just bawling his eyes out saying, it's so sad that a kid like you is going to say, I'll be dead soon. Okay? And Corazon is just like, he's just like weeping over the fact that, I'm so sorry, Law. I'm so sorry I'm making you relive this trauma. I know you probably hate me. I'm sorry. Okay? And then he mumbles off, and then you see Law, who's not asleep but awake, and he begins to cry his eyes out. And Law calls him Corazon. All right, not Corazon, Corazon, or Mr. Cora, if we're being accurate. And that you just see the heartfelt, bond built between them, all right? And, Law hates the world government, and by extension hates the Marines for what happened to his family and everything. And he just decides, and, Corazon hides the fact that he's with the Marines, but Law already figured this out, and he still didn't care. He still loved him. And the scene when Doflamingo arrives, the just gut-wrenching scene, that we knew this man was going to get killed by his brother. We knew all this was going to have to happen. It still hurt to see. And then you see Corazon smiling at Law, being like, hey, I love you, kid. And then you see his broken teeth. It's one of those moments that I still just love to this day, all right? It's been a decade removed. I don't care. I'm happy he's here. I guess it shows how much people love Law and Corazon. All right, and then rounding up the top 15, we have Uta. When I made a video about the midterm results, I was kind of stunned that Uta was as high, but then someone pointed out, like, hey, Uta is very popular because of film Red and everything, and the community just loves, obviously Ado and everything and the music that comes out of it, so Uta is just naturally going to be highly associated with everything that's happening in the story. She is canon. Like, Uta is canon. One manga panel, in a tiny corner, you see Uta as a kid. Uta is canon. Like, there's not much I can say or do about that against it. But yeah, Uta is canon. Canonically, she does exist in the One Piece story. How Oda will use her, I have no idea. All right, and rounding out that, we have Sabo at 14. We have Chopper at 13. Rob Hancock at 12, I guess. Okay, and then we've got, all right, and some recency bias, obviously. I'm happy that Rox was number 17. Now, I really hoped he would have cracked the top 10 because I love Rox. I really do. For the back half of 2025, he was just like the character the One Piece community was lockstep in agreement within. He was our guy. He was our, our hero. He was just like, yo, we love this guy. Is he a good person? Hell no. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could chuck him, and I couldn't throw him at all because Rox is a big dude. He's like 14 and a half feet tall. He's a boy. But no, I was so happy to see Rox here, all right? He just absolutely took over the fandom by storm. He was so cool, badass, had so many epic moments, and his just heartbreaking end at God Valley just really just rips your heart out. All right, I'm so happy they're making his movie. I'm so, who else? Who else but Rox should get a canon One Piece movie? Who else? It has to be him. Like, who else? All right, and we keep going down the list. All right, now Loki's at number 20, rounds up there. Okay, now this is the big one. Charlotte Cracker is at 21. I'm going to say that again. Charlotte Cracker is at 21. Yeah, when I first heard this, I was like, wait, what, is there something I'm missing? Is there something I must be tripping? Am I like, did I miss some kind of like Cracker, SBS special questionnaire or something? Or what happened? No, I got it right here. I pulled it up. Okay. Some dude, apparently one Cracker fan in Japan, bought 9,000, I'm going to say it again, 9,000 copies just to vote for him for Shonen Jump. He spent about $21,600 US. Where you are in the world, whether in the UK or the Philippines, most of my audiences, international audiences from there, I have no idea how much that is in your currency, whether in pounds or in what the Philippines has as a currency. I don't know. But again, he spent 21 grand trying to get this. Like, this is the kind of shit you see with the channel. Like, this was, and mind you, he was buying shit, not counting bots. Like, this is the kind of shit you'll see. And I'm just thinking back to myself, like, really? Cracker? He's your go. That's your okay. That's the guy. Okay, wow. He's not even the coolest person on Big Mom's crew. I mean, Katakuri exists. Then I'd probably say, I mean, Smoothie's all right. Daifuku, I like Daifuku's power. His genie powers, it seemed pretty cool to me. But Cracker, yeah, okay. This is the guy we're rolling with. He spent 21 grand. Do y'all know how much 20 grand is in today's economy? It's basically half. Well, depending on how much you spent, it's almost half worth a brand new car. Like almost half a brand new car. That's how much money he spent. Well, okay, yeah, that's a lot to take in. All right. But fittingly, appropriately, Crocker is trying to pull it up right here. Crocker, hold on, let me pull it up right here. He is 21, and we have Crocker at 21, and he is right next to Doflamingo at 22, which honestly is interesting to think about because Doflamingo was Luffy's first serious op post time skip. I know he fought Caesar and Hardy, but those weren't joke fights. He wasn't even there was no real like existential threat. He fought, yeah. Okay, who's stronger, Doflamingo or Cracker? I'm going to say Doflamingo. Just off the fact that Doflamingo's fight was much harder for Luffy to deal with because A, he was an awakened fruit user, and B, even though he can't technically use Conqueror's coding attacks, he has Conqueror's Haki. So there's that. All right, we keep going up to top 30. We have every Straw Hat at the top 30. We have Eustace Kid at 23. Yeah, I've already talked about Eustace before. Again, I just don't see the appeal there. Japanese fans, if you're Japanese and watching this, let me know what you think of him down below. I just don't see the appeal there. I mean, it got to the point where Oda just decided to put his backstory in an SBS. Like that's literally what happened. Like, guys, I'm not making this up. You find Kid's backstory in an SBS. Like, we had Capone's backstory. We had, I know Law's the exception. We can't really compare Law to non-Straw Hat. We can't compare a lot of other characters because he's been in the story way longer and he's just so much more, integral story arcs he's played a role in. But yeah, Kid's backstory is in an SBS, so I just don't see the appeal there. We have Marco at 26, Buggy at 25, Brooke at 27, Vivi at 28, Frankie at 29, and Jinbei, my favorite Straw Hat. Yes, you heard it here. Jinbei is my favorite Straw Hat. I don't care. I love him. All right, he's my guy at number 30, rounding out the top 30. So yeah, that's honestly not a bad top 30 list. All right, but now we've gotten to the top 30. Let's discuss the things that that kind of blew my mind, but not blew my mind, but kind of surprised me. So let's talk about the other elephant in the room. Kuro. You remember Kuro? All right, Kuro, the one film from East Blue who was trying to take over Kaya's family's fortune and everything. Remember that? Remember that one pirate guy who pretended? Remember that he pretended to be a butler and everything, but he was really a pirate the whole time. Remember him? Yeah, he's ranked number 55. He is above. I'm looking at the list right now. Roger, Blackbeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Dragon, Moria, freaking Monet, X-Drake, Odin, Caesar, I've become hot. Fujitora. He's ahead of almost all the admirals. I'm just like, wait, seriously? Kuro is number 55. He's about, like, maybe recency bias is the thing with here, but outside of Akainu, and I'm going to pull up here, Borsalino, obviously, and then, where's Kuzan? Kuzan should be up here. Is he above? Where's Kuzan? Kuzan's number 41. Kuzan is the highest ranked admiral. So, there you go. But outside of those ones, Kuro beats out basically Blackbeard and Roger. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, I don't get it. Like, someone explain to me this in the comment section below, all right? Please, let me know what you think of Kuro, because I just don't see it. Now, fittingly, at number 56, we have Bartolomeo at 56. People, if you don't know Japanese or just don't know One Piece's, like, naming schemes, Gomu can mean 5'6". So, Luffy's attacks, Gomu no, that means 5'6". Luffy, when he was a kid, wears 5'6". That's perfect. A lot of people theorize, and I think this is true, Luffy's final bounty poster at the end of the series is going to be 5.6 billion, slightly higher ahead of Roger at 5.5 billion. So Bartolomeo at 56 just seems like destiny, like God just decreed. You're number 56, Bartolomeo. There you go. So that's it. That's rounding out that whole list there. I don't want to go through every single one. I want to do some breakdown of the region, but I do want to bring up one thing. Gabon is at 102. So there, Gabon stocks are on the rise, even though he's only been in the story for one arc. Oh, something else. All right, so before I talk about the different regions and their breakdowns, let me do one last little joke. Actually, two last little jokes. All right, let's talk about Panda Man. Panda Man is the equivalent of the Where's Waldo at One Piece. In the midterm results, he was 100, which just chef's kisses. Felt so appropriate to see Panda Man at 100. But now for this poll, he's at 112, which I'm a little sad, but I mean, again, he's Panda Man. He's standing for Oda. He's there. But Panda Man not being there, being 112, seems appropriate. Then the last character that we're going to talk about is Minarubo at 1,587. 1,567. All right. This dude he was one of the bounty hunters at Sabaody. In the image right here for the poll, he looks like he just got his ass kicked. So, Minarubo, you worked your ass off. Congratulations. You are now officially in the top 1,567 One Piece. 1,567 One Piece fans. All right. Congratulations. 6'7". Yeah, I don't get that. All right. But, all right, now that we've talked about the overall, let's talk about by regions, because there's some trends that I need to discuss. All right, there's some things that I have to just discuss that need to be pointed out, because they did this poll. They could break it down by region. So let's go by Japan, because I haven't seen the results of it. I want to break it down with you guys to get my organic reactions. Number 1, Luffy, obviously. Number 2, Zoro. Number 3, Mihawk. Okay. The agenda community in Japan is pushing the Mihawk narrative. They are 100% pushing that narrative forward. I just don't know why, but if you're Japanese or you're a Mihawk fan, let me know what you think down below. Number 4 is Shanks. Mihawk over Shanks. Of course. Nami at 5. I mentioned the Cracker guy, and then so Sanji's at 6, Cracker 7, Uta is 8. Film red, obviously. Sabo is 9. Corazon is 10. Okay, so we still have some consistency, all right? We're going to constantly see certain characters, all right? Let's go to Asia. Of course, Luffy 1, Zoro 2, Sanji 3, Nami 4, Shanks 5. Wow, in Asia. Okay, wow, Shanks high. Law 6, A7, and Robin 8, Hancock 9, and Mihawk 10. We're going to keep... The Mihawk narrative just does not stop, all right? I am surprised, though, we got Shanks this high over Law. I guess Asian fans love Shanks. I did not know that. I'm looking at it right now. Oceania has Nami. Number 1. I'm going to say it again. Oceania has Nami number 1. Yeah, I think Oceania is the new Gooner land, people. I think it's the new Gooner capital of the world, because whole lot of Gooners there, all right? Zoro at number 2. Zoro was constantly just... I want people to understand, if this was real in the One Piece world and there was a poll about who's the most popular with Straw Hats, and Zoro constantly just ranked ahead of Sanji, he would just roast the shit out of him. He'd keep calling him, oh yeah, you bronze medal bitch. How's it feel to be this? How does it feel to be the bronze medal of the crew? Hell, you're not even top 3 sometimes. Sometimes you're 4 or 5. Man, this is gotta suck for you. And you could just see Zoro just roasting the shit out of him. It's like that scene in One Piece fan letter when Sanji walks in the bar and they say, who's this guy? Oh, Blackleg? Oh, he's trash. Get him out of here. He ain't shit compared to Zoro. So, yeah. Luffy's at 4. That is wild. I guess Oceania fans really love Zoro and Nami because Luffy's at number 4. Dude. Law is in the top 5 or 7 slot in almost every country, every area of the world. Like, he does not require any work, and that's why I love him, because his character speaks to itself. Like, we don't need to do any hyping up for Law. You just say his name, and you're like, there's Law. All right, and then we've got Carrot at 6. Okay, if you're not a furry, I'm not. If you, first off, if you're a furry, okay, I don't know what the hell you're into, but okay, you exist. So then you've got Carrot at number 6. If you're a Carrot fan and you're not a furry, why do you like her? Like, she was in the story for a long time, I give her that, but if you take out Whole Cake Island, I know that was a long time ago, she's barely, you see her a little bit in Wano, you only see her a lot in Act 3 of Wano, obviously against the fight against Perospero, which... I'm sorry, but that fight had me dying because Perospero and Wanda blamed Pedro. Carrot and Wanda blamed Perospero for Pedro's death, even though Pedro blew himself up and Perospero had nothing to do with it. He was just caught at the wrong place, wrong time. You have Robin at 7. Obviously, she's goated. Shanks. Yamato at 8. Wow, I am surprised Yamato is that high. Like, when the panel results happened like 5 years ago for the first time, Yamato was in the top 10 for obvious reasons, recency bias and everything. But number 10, wow, that number 9 for Yamato, that's wild. Okay. Usopp's at 10 in Oceania. Let's go North America Riley, okay? Luffy's number 1, Zoro's number 2, Science number 3. Sanji just cannot get a break. Top 5, Nami and Law, okay. This is Mihawk, Carrot is number 8 in North America. I swear to God. Are there a bunch of furries here in the U.S.? I know there are, but actually, no, there are a bunch of furries here in the U.S. Maybe that's why. I don't know. If you're not a furry and you're a fan of Carrot, let me know what you think. We have Mihawk at 10, Usopp at 9. Yeah, that somehow fits there. And then we just keep, I'm going to keep on the list for every region, try to get a general breakdown. Central and South America, okay? This is Latin America. Latin America has Zoro number 1 over Sanji. Yep. Latin America, I don't know whether these are bots or just the Zoro fans. Zoro fans, just be humble, please. Just don't be so arrogant and mock Sanji. Like, just let Sanji have a dub, please. Let Sanji have 1, please. He deserves this. Luffy, Nami, Luffy's at 3, Nami's at 4. Law just keeps rounding up the top 5. And so, this is, again, Law is goated. Law is goated. He requires no work. You just put him in there and you're done. Obviously, Carrot is still top 10. So is Mihawk. All right, let's go. Let's go to Europe. Let's see what the Europeans say. Nami's number 1 in Europe? I mean, I get it. She would be Swedish, but wow. Okay, wow. They love that. Zoro's number 2. Zoro, man, he just keeps on winning. And Sanji's not even top 3 anymore. Sanji, bro, I feel for you, bro. Shanks is at number 5. Carrot's at 6. 7 is again lost to top 10. Robin. Number 9 is Rocks, and 10 is Loki. Wow. Okay. I love Rocks, so that settles it. I'm going to Europe for my next vacation. Book it. I'm going to Ireland. I'm going there now because these guys have Rocks in top 10. I'm goated. Yo, this is great. I love it. You kidding me? Then we have in the Middle East. Let's see what the Middle East has. Please, for the love of God, in all that is holy, why is Nami number 1 in the Middle East? Why? Please, someone tell me. It's haram to goon for women. Oh God, no. But seriously, Nami number 1. Okay, Zoro. I know why. I know why Zoro is loved by so many fans. In Middle Eastern countries, particularly Muslim countries, and some African countries, they love the badass stoic characters, okay? And Asian, like obviously Zoro's Japanese, so that would obviously resonate with them as well. So maybe that's what this is. That's what this is. Luffy's at number 3. Sanji's at 4. 5. Wow. The Middle East does love Rocks. They got a number 6. Holy crap. Obviously, recency bias is a factor here, but damn, they really love Rocks. Okay, I've been to the Middle East, okay? So that works out for me in that front. Robin, 7. Law's 8. Law just does not require any work. He's just built different. You just say his name and you're like, oh yeah, Trafalgar Law. And rounding out is Africa. Okay, see, I knew it. See, I called it. I knew it. They love the badass stoic characters because number 1 in Africa is Zoro. I knew it. See? This just confirms everything that I knew about the One Piece community, okay? Because they know, particularly in parts of the world, they love badass, stoic characters, okay? They love, like, you know, the silent, strong types. And Zoro, yeah, that fits. I can't, okay, Nami's number 2. Okay, are there a lot of gooners in Africa now? Like, I mean, Africa, it's a whole big continent. It's not just one region. It's West Africa, there's South Africa, there's Northern Africa, there's East Africa. Luffy's at 3, Sanji's at 4, Shanks 5. Wow, Africa. Wow, they really do love Rocks, man, out in Africa. Wow, okay, so Muslim countries love Rocks. That's just the vibe I'm getting for. That and Mihawk. And Carrot is 6. Are there a lot of furries in the Middle East now? Carrot's number 6. Miyuki's at 7. Rox is at 8. Usopp's at 9. Loki's at 10. Okay, so Loki and Rox is obviously recency bias in large part. But Carrot, again, yeah, that's just it. All right. That's pretty much everything about the regions I've talked about. My biggest takeaway is African countries, Muslim countries, they love Zoro because he's badass and stoic. But I'm just trying to figure out like what else that really blows my mind in this whole poll. Because frankly, I mean, it kind of went the way we expected. Worldwide, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. For the most part, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are going to be in the top 3 or some order thereof, except in places like Europe or the Middle East, because Europe had Nami number 1 and Zoro was still number 2. Zoro is constantly in the top 1 or 2. Yeah, Zoro is constantly in the top 1 or 2. Zoro cannot lose. It does not help that Toei Animation has decided to make Zoro their boy, their golden child, where they decide we're going to give him everything in his fights. In fact, we're also going to make Sanji seem much weaker. But that's all I want to talk about today. I'm your boy Malik, talking about the latest One Piece poll results. All right, if you're a fan of the video, please, from me, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like and subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. That's how you get notified about new videos. And let me know what you think in the comment section below about the worldwide results. All right, were they in line with what you thought? What was the most shocking to you? All right, fam, until next time, I'm your boy Malik. Adios.